A small army of outsiders, consisting of only 500 men, brought the world's largest empire to its knees. But we will all be surprised to learn what was the reason that such a great power, which was the world's biggest superpower in its own right, vanished in just a few years. This is the story of the Aztec Empire, an empire that only 500 outsiders could defeat. They had no magic, they had no such power. Rather, they simply used a fact that the Aztecs themselves were unaware of. That was This is the story of 1519. A great empire was spreading across the land of Central America. Its capital, Tenochtitlan, was one of the greatest cities in the world. This city was built in the middle of water and was so beautiful that when the Spanish first arrived, they thought they had come to paradise. The Aztec people were masters of art, engineering, and warfare. They had so much gold and silver that they used it to decorate their temples and buildings. Their great warriors were a sign of fear for their enemies. But beneath this glory, a deep fear was hidden. Their religion was based on human sacrifices. To please their gods, they sacrificed thousands of enemy soldiers and captured people. Every year, thousands of innocent people would see their great walls, but for them they were not a door to freedom, but a path to death. It was this cruelty that weakened them from within.
We will free you from their tyranny.
And then, at such a time, a strange sight appeared. A peculiar kind of ship came from the sea. It had strange men with hair and beards, who wore clothes of shining iron and had strange-sounding swords. These were Hernán Cortés and his only 500 soldiers. In front of them were millions of Aztec soldiers. But the Aztec Emperor, Montezuma II, panicked and thought, "Is this the same God we read about in old stories?" A powerful nation that was feared all over the world was so convinced by an old story that they did not stop themselves until it was too late. Montezuma let Cortés enter his city as a guest and gave him golden gifts. Montezuma thought these golden gifts could please those gods, but he only taught Cortés one thing, that this city had immeasurable wealth. Cortés was no god. He was just a man hungry for greed and power. He saw that if he was to defeat this empire, he had to break it from within. Cortés played a trick that changed the history of the world. He befriended the people who were enemies of the Aztec Empire. They knew that the Aztecs sacrificed their people every year and oppressed them. Cortés made their hatred his greatest weapon. He convinced them that he was fighting for their freedom. They were not aware that they were only going to move from the hands of one ruler to another. When Cortés attacked Tenochtitlan, he did not have just 500 Spanish soldiers with him, but also an army of millions of people who wanted revenge on their old oppressors. Finally, in 1521, the city of Tenochtitlan fell. This was not just a battle, but a story that tells you that the decline of any powerful empire does not start from the outside, but from within. The Aztec Empire was not brought down by Cortés. It was brought down by their own cruel rule, their fear, and the hatred of their own people. Cortés was just the reason who took advantage of their internal weaknesses. This story teaches us that when you create enemies within, in the end, your power and wealth cannot save you. At that time, when they had to face the enemy, they did not have the support of their own people. On that day, the sun of a great empire set, and their secrets, their diseases, and their own hatred buried it in the ground.